Miss Marvel episode 2 just dropped, and we're doing a review and reaction right now. What's up, everybody? This is the Jersey Comic Crew. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And of course, this is your spoiler warning. We're going to talk about the events and characters of Miss Marvel episode 2 and let you know what we thought of it.
Yeah.
So Chris, I think it's safe to say this might be one of my favorite shows to watch every week. It's full of hope and light. And in a world where I'm watching The Boys and Obi-Wan and Vader and exploding heads, I come and watch Miss Marvel, and I'm for a teenage rom-com full of happiness and superpowers. It's fantastic.
It is. It's one of those feel-good shows that just helps the day. You know, it's like,
Yes.
oh, I can't. It's one of those where it's like, I just can't wait to talk about it. It's so fun. It's so lighthearted, and you know, it's just so different than, as Rob said,
Yes.
dealing with the boys and exploding things and dildo fights. But yeah, Rob, I really like this episode. Just like the last episode, even more so.
Yeah.
I love the extra dimension we're getting into her world and the family and her friends and all those dynamics. I felt a little bad for Bruno this episode, man. I know you want to talk about Bruno, but dude, my man, you got to go to Caltech. I mean, if you got to do it, man. Don't stay here and be friend zoned, especially like I'm telling you. The girls at Caltech will be plenty, but trust me.
I don't think he's gonna stay necessarily because he's in love with Kamala. That's probably a part of it, but it's more like my friend became a superhero. Like my friend got powers, and I'm gonna be the nerdy psychic. Like he's like, this is my job in life. I have to evolve, and I'm gonna be the cool
Screw
guy.
myself. I am now just for you.
And now you're gonna be evolved, and at all the Avengers parties, he's gonna be there. Like
Yeah.
This is your ticket to go hanging out with Iron
Him
Man.
and Ned in the corner listening to Rhodey's shitty jokes for an hour.
Getting back to the issue with my man Bruno,
Yeah.
there's a new lover boy in town, right?
Yeah.
We see the hearts, we see the fire emojis, we see him jump off a roof, do a cool flip, and then she went wild. I was like, this is perfect teenage fantasy right here. This is exactly what she wants.
Yep.
I knew I didn't trust him, and then
obviously.
at the end, I was like, he's too attractive for his own good. And then boom, some crazy lady in the back of the car is trying to get to Kamala. It's full circle.
I originally thought he was going to be the nephew of the cop. By the way, of the after credit scene you and I both missed last week. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea there was an after credit scene after episode 1. But the guy who was interrogating Zoe in this episode, he's also the guy who interrogates Peter Parker in No Way Home.
Yes.
When, he came out and was like, yeah, my uncle, it's my, and blah, blah, blah. I thought he was going to be the nephew of the cop. So I'm like, oh, there's the connection. He's trying to use this investigative. Right? He still had these different intentions, this ill intent with his mother, and whatever connection she has to either Kamala's family or this bracelet or knowledge of this bracelet. I wonder, Rob, if she's kind of like this Nick Fury-esque character coming in with this knowledge that's about to open Kamala's world up to something.
I think it's definitely going to be like this character that has knowledge that Kamala didn't have no idea. She obviously knew who her great-grandmother was. Everybody's saying in the family that her great-grandmother brought shame. She ran away and fell in love with somebody else. Maybe that kid is related to Kamala.
She killed somebody. It was just crazy.
Right, yeah, she killed somebody. All this crazy stuff. And they're like, oh, how'd she get back in the train? And obviously it's powers. And I think the mom knows that somebody in the family had powers. They made a joke like that he was related, right? Like with the mirrors, like, oh yeah, you were doing some naughty things on the computer, right? I think I remember you. And his wife obviously knows that they're not related, but the joke that they're related, I think this is part of the family that of great grandmother Kamala, whatever her name is, I forgot, it escapes me right now, and that lineage, and they know about the powers, and they're going to introduce her into the world of the powers and awaken her. And Bruno confirmed that the power comes from within her, right? The bracelet just awoken, whatever it is, so they can still be like the bracelet awoken to some magical properties. We find out it's Terrigen mist is imbued in the thing, and that evolved her or something like that. So everybody who's very upset about her powers, don't worry. It looks like we're going to be fine.
Yeah, maybe. It seems that there is definitely something cosmic about this bracelet, right? Whether it's imbued with some type of cosmic energy or it's infused with something else that's more magic-based. We're obviously delving into the magic side of the MCU right now. And that kind of solidified that, no, there is something within Kamala that is brought on. Obviously, from her mother's side of this lineage, right? We got that very cryptic story that her dad, who is like one of my favorite characters.
I love the father.
Love that guy. When he gets the poster, he's just trying to eat, and he's like, "Oh, it's so good." But he explains that her family had to escape that side of Pakistan, and there was this huge divide, and kind of this little mini history lesson, which her mother kind of leaves the table and has this very emotional reaction to, right? Like, she doesn't want to think about it. She doesn't want to talk about it. She's avoiding it, not only in her head, but by physically leaving the table. And then we get that shot, Rob, where Kamala's saving the little kid. Again, social media kills people. Social media kills.
Yes.
And she's saving the kid, and her bracelet kind of activates this portal where it seems like it's her great grandmother in the past or in an astral plane.
I don't know what it is.
Some connection. And it kind of messes up her focus of saving the kid for a second. So it seems to me very Green Lantern based. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that, based on the fact that we kind of have a confirmation now. It's kind of like, oh, it's whatever I think. I have to focus on making sure this platform I step on doesn't, fall through, and make sure it stays there. Mm-hmm. And not so much on the hands as of yet, or the stretching of limbs, or the embiggening, as they call it in the comics. What are your thoughts on kind of what we've seen so far with her power set?
I enjoy her power set. I understand the whole thinking of the thoughts, and like she has to slide and she does all of that. Yeah. I think we're going to find out later throughout the episodes and throughout the series that her powers are going to be more strong the more they are close to her, right? So the beginning of the arm is going to be easier to do than to summon a platform, right? Because it's going to be less thought. It's going to be instantaneous. You just stretch and you grab it. And that's why her power set's going to do that. But I also think this slight change is going to allow her to be more versatile. So then she could create a platform for everybody else if that's what it calls for. Or she could create this little mechanism here to like open a gate or whatever. But I think her core of her powers are still going to be big, because it's going to be easy to think of. She's going to allow her to do stuff. But then when she just needs to focus on creating constructs for her power, she's going to be able to do that. So I think it's a way for her to essentially give her a power up to have more flexibility, but also still keep her core to the comic.
I like that too. And my other question is, what connection does Kamala's mother's side of the family have to either humans, cosmic stuff? It doesn't seem like it's this connection the way Shang-Chi is connected with his father in the 10 Rings, right? Yeah. It's the way more deep into their family lineage, like it's an ancestral passed down situation that it seems like her mother avoided or didn't want any part of.
I also think this show works so well because there's no villain. Because the villain, right? It kind of seems like the damage control department is like the villain. They're trying to get them and see what's going on. But I kind of like that where it's just so focused on like her discovering herself and these powers and just living this everyday life, at least for now and foreseeable the next episode or two. Because so often with superhero shows and Marvel and anything, right? We're just thrown into like, all right, there's this guy coming to attack everything. We have to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure the villain's going to be, that side of her family saying they want to use Kamala's powers for evil and do all this kind of stuff. Yeah. I can see that being the case, and I'm totally fine with that being the antagonist. But I'm glad that the antagonist isn't like a supervillain, right? It's just family drama, right? And I think that's what it's going to be. Like, there's part of her family she can't trust because they want to do bad things. Very similar to Shang-Chi, and like family's so core to this character, to her heritage, to her in the comics. I'm just enjoying the everyday life of Kamala running around trying to survive high school at this point, with the girl trying to eat up social media, and she's just trying to learn how to drive.
Yeah, I love that side of it too, Rob, and I love that she walks in and like Mace is playing, and took me back to high school myself. I'm like, oh, that's my playlist. Like, I recognize this Jersey stuff over here. Like, I recognize all of this. Yes. So like, that stuff is funny. I would say the only thing that's completely unrealistic is there's no traffic in this show, and everyone who knows Jersey City.
Yeah, what is that?
It is absolutely packed at all times. You can't move. It is a hellscape of driving. Mm-hmm. But I digress. But yeah, like that stuff is great. I love the kind of taken aback, the high school like love scene where she comes at home and she's dancing through the house, grabbing a Capri Sun, and everyone's like, "Oh, you good? How was it?" You're like, magical.
She was like, magical. I fell in love with somebody who's gonna kill me in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Already tortured love. And then Bruno, poor guy. But yeah, like I loved all the aspects and kind of showing the other side, right? Like she's training, trying to figure out her powers. She's young.
That was fun.
Has no idea how to do it. And then she has to run to get to the mosque, right? Like she's still a part of this culture that she can't stop being a part of just because this is happening. It's kind of just adding to her day. But I loved them growing Nakia's character too.
Yes.
Because that was a character we didn't see a lot of in episode 1, Rob. And in this episode, she gives a revelation that I connected to very strongly and did not think I would at all in this show. And it's the conversation they have in the bathroom where she's too white or too exotic. That's something I relate to, not the job, obviously, but that is something I relate to as a mixed kid, always being either one or the other, being categorized as one or the other by both sides. So I was like, wow, that is absolutely something I did not expect to see in this show.
Imagine her plight with just that, right? Then you add on top of that, aside from her religion, you have that on top, and then the fact that she's a woman, right? And everybody's just like, hey, everything on the woman's side is broken, gross, mode, and they don't care. They just focus on the men. When she has that conversation with Kamala's father, she's like, hey, listen, like your daughter wants me to do this. She's like, I'm running. He's like, oh, but my friend, dude. He's like, are you gonna rob a girl's dream?
So good, the manipulation.
And he's like, girls, we know, like women, like we need to step up. I need to do this so that women like me and like Kamala, we can move forward in the country. And he's like, yeah. Oh, okay. And he's just trying to like do his thing. He's like, I guess that.
He's like in between eating. He's like, oh, damn it.
He's like, you're right.
I was having fun.
You challenged my opinion on social norms, and you know what? I have to change it. I'm gonna eat this, and then I'm gonna vote for you. There we go.
Yes, I'm gonna finish the food. Absolutely finish the food.
Of course.
Then we can talk about the vote. Yes. And he's holding the poster, just like, oh, it was so funny to me.
Oh, how great was the breakdown of all the different like social cliques within the mosque? I thought that was so well done. They're like, oh, we have the aunties, we have these, we have this, we have this. I was like, this is perfect. Beautiful.
I love how they sent Bruno to the convert side where all the white people who became Muslim. That was so funny to me. And also when Bruno gets there and he's like dressed up, he goes to like Kamala's mom and it's like, is it too bright? And she's like, I don't understand the question. Like it was just like the little hilarious mom jokes in there and like the culture stuff.
I don't think she was joking. I think she was real.
But no, but like for the audience, right? The mom jokes of like, just I don't understand the question. What do you mean too bright? Because everyone's in bright colors. I found that to be absolutely charming as hell. So I love these family intricacies.
Kamala's parents is charming, period.
Absolutely amazing.
Fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
I need them in every episode and every show that they do. I want her to be in the Champions doing stuff and then comes home is like, I'm ready for food now. Like they need to be a part of everything for her.
Absolutely. I'm already picturing, I hope and pray there is a scene in the Marvels movie where Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau have to go to Kamala's house to ask permission for her to come be a superhero with them. I think that would be absolutely hilarious because I feel like her mom would be like so against it and her dad would just be geeking out and showing them like the thing that controls the house and like trying to like just like gushing over them. Yeah, like and then like has like a little crush on Carol Danvers or something. Like I think that would be a hilarious scene.
My mind went to I can't wait for her to invite Kate Bishop over for a slumber party, and they're trying to plan something, and they're both doing superhero things, while the parents are like, "Are you doing the Avengers Con 3 or whatever?" Right? Like,
yeah, is this Avenger Con 2?
Like what's going on? Yeah, Mom, it's fine. Don't worry, we're gonna be fine. And then like you see her, then American Chavez comes in and has that. I was thinking more of like the teenagers things.
And Yelena introduces them to hot sauce.
Yelena's like, "Kate Bishop, Kamala Khan, have some macaroni and cheese with hot sauce," and then I'll cry. I could just watch it. They could just have a podcast of them talking and fucking eating macaroni and cheese, and I'd watch it. Well, guys, that is our review and reaction to Miss Marvel Episode 2. Let us know down in the comments below what you thought of Miss Marvel, and are you enjoying it as much as we are?
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you are new, subscribe and turn on those notifications. You don't miss any more of our Miss Marvel talks. As you can see, we are having a load of fun with this show. Yes. We can't wait for every episode. And if you miss anything, it is right here on the channel. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we will see you next time.